So today we continue to check on the effects of drug and substance abuse. We've checked it on the society, family, and everything. We also checked it on how it affects the individual health-wise. So today we want to check on something important on education. Education. How does drug affect the education status of an individual? One, we know that people study, and especially teenagers. Most of them break out of schools. A student was very well, and as they proceed, they got into drugs and they dropped. So, how does drug affect us education-wise? So we begin by the myths and misconception of how drugs affect our academics. One, we are told that marijuana makes somebody to be wise or think big, and sometimes most of the people who do maths, they are told that when you take a little bit of marijuana, it will make you even do more calculations. Also, those who do medicine, law, and everything, they are lied to. They can take this bang so that they can be able to do more and even cram more. So is that true? This is not a fact. One thing, this is a lie. And we said drugs work differently on different people. We have few cases where people went and used it and they graduated, but you can also see on how they think. They cannot think. They only crammed the content, passed the exams, but they cannot handle a patient. And even if they try to handle a patient, there will always be a problem. And that's why you'll find sometimes a doctor does an operation and they say he did it wrongly because he was doing it under the influence of drugs. So one thing, I want to disqualify this misconception that drugs makes you to think above others or make you to do more calculations. Education-wise, drugs have a bad impact. One is that it leads to school dropouts. You'll get a larger number of them that drop out of school are them that got into drugs or any addiction. Some got into sexual addiction, drug addiction, and sort of. But you'll find a greater percentage is drug and substance abuse, in that they got into drugs and everything, and after that they left. So most of the time teenagers during the teenage age and the young adult age is the age when the children need love, affection, and they need to be understood. But this is also the age that most of them get into drugs. So you send your child to school, but when they come back at home, you don't have time for them. You don't have an understanding of them. But in school, they meet drug addicts that will lie to them that, drug, you can test this so that you pass maths. For example, your child comes home with a D in maths, and you really speak to this child like he is not worth it. So when they go to school, this child will want to please you in order to pass maths. So they go to school and another person lies to him that, when you use this one, you'll pass maths, you'll pass physics. So your child goes, within a short time, you'll see maybe a grade changes for a short while. Then later on, the grades just go back to normal and they start disturbing you back at home. They do not listen to you and they end up even leaving school. So this goes back to parents. Whenever we send our children to school, let us also be considerate on their performance, yes, but let us show them the right procedures on how they can pass. And by the way, truly speaking, we have them that are blessed in technical subjects and they can do well, and them that are blessed in non-technical subjects. For example, you can find a child who is good in CRE. Don't abuse that child. Don't make that child feel inferior. No. Both are important, and that's why we need social we need counselors. Yes, we need counselors. we also need engineers, and we also need pastors, and we also need news anchors. We need all these people in the society. So just know what your child brings and know what really they can do with what they bring. Then encourage them to work more on it. We also add on the crime part. You'll find that most of the time, children get into criminal activities because of how we handle them. And once they get into drugs, they get into crimes because they will have to use these drugs. For example, somebody who uses bang, this is somebody who cannot go without it. And because they cannot go without it, they'll have to find a way so that they can get money. It is not picked in the market, they will have to buy it. And because they have to buy it, they will have to go pick or steal it from somewhere. So on that, crimes also are encouraged. So let us consider on how we handle these people, and also let us check on how we handle the students, because it will affect them crime-wise and they'll get into criminal activities.